Hello everyone, welcome to my CAD tutor. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn the n numbers of Vray Material in 3ds Max. We'll start with the first one, matte finish. As you can see on the screen, we have the multiple materials already created. So I will explain you how you can create by your own. First of all, go to the render setup. You can use shortkey F10 for the render setup. Minimize the common parameter and go to the assign render. By default, it will be selected as a default scanner. You have to choose Vray Advanced 3.6 or whatever the version you have of Vray. Close the dialog box, then go to the material editor. As I have already created the numbers of Vray materials, select any of the material editor or slot. Go to get material. Then you will find two types of material. One is standard 3ds Max material and second is Vray material. From the list, choose the Vray MTL. It is a short form of Vray material. Double click to upload. Now in this slot we have the Vray material. Now understand some parameters to create a Vray material. First there's a basic in the basic parameter there's a diffuse. Diffuse is the main color of the object. If you assign some color for your objects, so you can choose on the color pick tool or color picker. If you have RGB value, you can put the value over here, or you can assign the manual color. Okay, simply select the color, it's done. Now show the material, select your object and say assign material. Your material is assigned. If you want to check how is appear on the rendered image, you can test a small render. For that, go to the render setup. Under preset, click on load preset and select render preset. The link is given in the description. You will find the render preset file and the other texture file. What is required in this folder, you will get it. Select open and load. Then go to the common parameters and select the small one and say render. As you can see on the screen, there's a beautiful matte finishing is there. So let us close the windows and the next we'll check the glossy finishing. How we'll create the glossy finishing? Go to the material editor. Okay. The second parameter is reflection. Reflection is the main parameter to give the glossiness to your object. So you have to do two things. First of all, select the reflection color. In my case, I don't need any color. Just go to the white color and give the reflection value 0.95. Double click on the slot. You can see the reflections. The more value you reduce for the reflection, you will get the maximum reflection for your object. And you can control the reflections and make render for a test one. After end, you can see the reflection on your object. For the more reflection, you have to create a beautiful environment which will have the multiple objects so that object can reflect on your reflected object. The next, texture. What if you want to upload a image or a texture image to your object? Okay, it is about assigning ob- it is about the assigning a texture into your object. For that, go to the material editor. From diffuse, select the bitmap option using this box. Click on bitmap and upload the material, and the material is there with the reflection. If you want the reflection, you can keep it or just remove the value from here. Now go to the material and you can assign the size. If you want to multiple size, you can do it here to enlarge and reduce the value, and just apply the image and say show material. Now you can see the glossiness is there with your texture. If you want to check, you can make it render by clicking on rendering. Cancel and make a small box to save the time. You can see we have some glossiness. If you want to make more glossy, you can change the value, and the texture is there. Now the next step, we have the bump effect. So what is the bump effect? You will see on the result. Just go to the material editor, go back, minimize and maximize the map option. So we have the diffuse, our texture, and below that in the list you can see the bump. First of all, select the bump, select bitmap and choose the bump. If you don't know how to create the bump map, let me know on the comment box. I will give a I will upload a video on that. Open it and make the same value as you put in the diffuse one and make it 80. Now you can see the bump effect. This is the normal and this is the bump. Bump gives your material a realistic depth how it looks. Click on the object and say assign material. Okay, it will appear in the rendering only. So click on the render and we see a rendering. Make it bigger so that you can see very clearly. Go to camera, select Vray and Vray physical camera. Set the angle of the camera. Say camera 2 and then shift plus Q to render. Okay, we have to do a small changes in our camera to better quality. Select the white balance at the neutral shutter speed as 100 and the film speed for 200 or 250, and then you can make the rendering and see the difference. Here you can see in the image the depth of the material which will not appear in the normal bitmap. If you want the more effect of the bump, you can go to the material editor. In diffuse, you can maximize the value and check in the material so that you will get the more depthness. Then render it again. After the complete rendering, you can definitely see a bigger change in your bump effect. The more value you give on the bump, you will see on the rendered image. Okay, I think it is enough. Let's move to the next. Next, we have displacement effect. Press F3 for the appearance change. Click on the material editor and go to the get material. Select Vray material as I'm starting for a new material, so that why I've taken the Vray material again. Click on the diffuse button to upload an image. There's a grass texture. Open it. Give it the value 2 by 3. You can maximize as you want. Then select this object, say apply and show the material. After, go to the parent material, minimize the basic parameter and maximize the maps. In the displacement, click, just drag and drop the material. Say instance, okay. Double click on that and you can see the changes of displacement. For the result, make a render. I'm making a window to save the render timing. If you want the maximum result for your grass texture using displacement, you can also use the bump. Just drag and drop and render it again. Don't forget to maintain the value. Look at the result. We have a beautiful grass in our rendered scene. So just close it and move to our next object. The next one is glow object. Right. If you want a tube light effect or a lighting effect or a glowing object, you can use the V-Ray light material. So go to the get material, select the V-Ray light material, choose a color, and select the value and just render it. That's it. Oh, sorry. Select the object and assign the material and click on show material. Then make it render. If you want the more glowing effect, change the value and check the rendering. As you can see on the screen, we will get the glowing effect like this. All this depend on the environment what you have created for your object. As we don't have any environment, we are going on a simple white background, so that is still we are getting a very beautiful glowing effect. You can see the color, make it render again and move to the next one. Next is iron. For the iron, it is very simple. Go to the get material, select the V-Ray material, go to the diffuse, put this value for the main color of the diffuse, and in the reflection select this value for the reflection and don't put the reflection. If you want you can make it 0.955, make it enter. Select the max depth from 5 to 10 and fractional reflection by clicking this button, make it 20 and your iron material is ready. But I don't suggest you to give the shiny glossiness, make it 1 and close it. Select your object, make a sign and make a render. We are getting some reflections because of the fractional IOR. Just uncheck this one and then render it. Now the iron material is on the screen. You can see a perfect iron metal. Close it and move to the next. Now we have aluminium. For the aluminium, you will click on the Vray material first, then go to the diffuse and choose the black color for the main color. Go to the reflection, select full white reflection, glossiness, put the value 0.75, max depth 10 and fractional reflection. Use this button and give the value 5. Select your object and say show material and assign material. For the result, you can go to the render and render it once again to check the effect. After the rendering, you can see the perfect aluminium material. It is ready for your rendering project. Close down and move to the next object. Next is chrome. For the chrome, get a V-Ray material first. In the diffuse, go to the main black color. Reflection, make this value 190, 190, 190. It's like a off-white or light gray color. Give the max depth 10, reflection glossiness 0.85, and the max fractional IOR 25. Set these values, select the object, and assign the material, and check the render for the final result. As you can see on the rendered image, the perfect chrome metal is ready to use. Move to the next one. Now we have gold. For the gold, go to the slot, get the V-Ray material. In the diffuse, use this value, RGB value. Go to the reflection, use this value, make 0.8 as a reflection glossiness, max depth 10, and fractional IOR 25. You can change the value as you can as you can know there's a multiple type of gold colors. You can make them as per your requirement. For the final result, select this object and assign, go to the render and make a render. We have the final gold result. You can use this gold method, this gold material in your project. Let's move to the next. Next is stainless steel. For the stainless steel, first go to the get material and select V-Ray material. In the diffuse color, use this value. In the reflection, use full white, reflection 0.95, max depth 10, and do not use the fractional reflection. In the refraction, use the glossiness 0.95. Select your object, assign the material, and test or render material. After the rendering, you can see the stainless steel effect. Now, move to the next one. Next is Cooper. How you can make the Cooper value. Select the slot, go to the get material, and select Vray Material. After, select the diffuse color, use these values. For the reflection, use these RGB values. Max depth 5, reflection 0.95 and the fractional IOR 25. Select the object, assign the material, select show material and make a render. As you can see, we have the copper material. So our next material is bronze. To create the bronze, go to the get material, select Vray material. From the diffuse, use these RGB value. For reflect, use these values. Fractional reflection, fractional IOR 25, max depth 10 and reflection closeness 0.59. Select your object, assign the material and say show material, make a render. After the rendering, you will get your bronze material. So move to the next one and we'll see step by step the all materials. So next is pearl material. It's very simple and easy to make. Go to the slot and go to the gold material. Select V-Ray material in the diffuse. Use these RGB values. For reflection, select the full white, 10 max depth, 0.75 reflection, max OR 20. Select your object, assign the value, say show material and render your image. We found our pearl in V-Ray material. It's a very beautiful and you can use it in your project. So it is time for the next one. The next material is glass. For glass, go to the slot, get V-Ray material, select the diffuse color full white, reflection color full white, max depth 5, glossness 0.95. That's it. Select your object, assign the material and make render to check the final effect. Now we have the clear glossness glass after the rendering. Use in your project and best of luck for all these VRE materials. So move to the next material and I hope next is the frosted glass material. Yes, for the frosted glass, go to the material, get V-Ray material, diffuse full white, reflection full white, max depth 10, reflection 0.95, refraction full white, and the glossness 0.95. For the frosting, this is the main factor. Make it 8, and you can see the frosted effect here. This one is the clear glass, and this is the frosted glass. We'll see the result after the rendering. Assign the material on your object and go to the rendering. So we have the frosted glass. I know it is very difficult to check the frosted glass in the white background, but when you will use this on your project, you will see the clear frosted effect on your object. Go to the next one, and next we have the mirror. How we can make the mirror in 3ds Max using V-Ray material. So click on the slot, go to the get material and select V-Ray material. For the diffuse, use the full black color, reflection full white color, max depth 10, reflection glossness 0.95, fractional IR 25, and the refract it is a full black as it is normally as it is default. So select your material and assign this one and click on show material, click on the rendering to check the final render effect. After the rendering, you can see the mirror effect. Then move to the next and last one. It is color glassed. For the color glass, select the slot, go to the get material, select V-Ray material, make the color of your own choice. Reflection will be full white, max depth 7, reflection glossiness 0.85, refraction value, and then make it render. Now you can see we have our color glass in the render image. For the more transparency, you can go to the refraction and give the more value of refraction so that it will get more transparency on your object. One more and last topic is there is a very tile material. I have made a separate video for that, but still I will show you how you can make the tile in Vray Material. Go to the Vray Material. In the Diffuse button, type Vray tile tiles. In the tiles, you can see now we have the tile options. Make it 2 by 2. In Advanced Controller, you can give the color, or you can upload a texture, count of the tiles. It will be depend. It will depend on your project size and the flooring size. For the grooves, make the point 1. I generally prefer point 1 and give the color some dark. If you want to give some effect, reflection effect, you can make it here. And now you can see the reflection with your tiles. Select your object, show material, and assign the material. For the appearance, click F3 and you can see we'll render that. We'll render this for the final result. After the rendering, we have our tile material using V-Ray material. So these are the basics and needy material for the V-Ray in 3ds Max. Use this material in your project. Best of luck for your project, and if you are facing any difficulty, write on the comment box. I will give you the suggestions and the best possible answer of your query. Thanks for watching this video.